Hello, beautiful mutants. I've gone up the hill and not quite to the halfway point of the 5K, but pretty close. Rocking the shade because it's like 85 degrees, although it doesn't feel that warm out. I am sweating a little bit. So today we're going to talk about music again. It's a favorite subject, one of my favorite subjects, along with conspiracy, and that's what I'm sort of talking about. Although I'm starting to get tired of everything being a conspiracy. um, so anyways, yeah, so Thursday, also known as Distraction Day from at work, a friend of mine forwarded an interesting article about the circle of fifths and equal temperament. And of course, in the article, it kept on mentioning about tuning A in 440 hertz, which brought me to do some deep diving regarding 440 versus 432. And I found a very interesting article. And this was just doing Google search and just finding articles that was to my liking. Most of the articles, a lot of the articles is just trying to dispute the fact that there is no conspiracy and that, that it's meaning to be 440. So, but anyways, the article that I found interesting and sort of was almost a little bit of pro 432 was on globalnews.ca, their website, right? Global News, they're respectable, right? They're Canadian. I watch the news all the time. We should all feel worried and upset, and we all know, and yeah. So anyways, yeah, the news, So anyway, this article on Global News, I'm not sure what section of the globalnews.ca website, but it was published on May 13th, 2018, which coincidentally was 4 years to the day to my sort of mystical experience of the mystery orb from that commercial I sent you. Cheese strings. No. I present to you, Chula. Or, yeah. Anyways, so I can't even remember what the article is talking about. But like 440 versus 432, the great debate sort of thing. So I wrote down a few, so you can't see me, so you can't tell that I'm reading off a piece of paper, but you probably hear the rufflings of it. So just a little bit of it that just from the first sort of like page or so on the website. So he goes back about the history. So in 1885, Music Commission of Italy declared ... that the tuning forks, for all the musical instruments be vibrated at 440 hertz. Right? I think back then it was like not even 432 before. I think it was like maybe been like 435 or something completely different, right? So this was like probably like all of Europe, right? But then in 1917, and this could be where like maybe the Rockefeller conspiracy comes about. American Federation of Music endorsed the Italians, followed by a further push in 1940, and that's the conspiracy of the Nazi sort of thing of that they wanted to change it so that everybody can be subservient sort of thing, and easily. Anyways, this article actually didn't really go much into the conspiracies, which is good. Like, he just presented facts and stuff like that. So I'll read a bit further, and then I'll just talk a little bit about some of my thoughts. So 432 hertz, also known as Verdi's. So I guess classical music back in the 1700s, 1800s, or something like that, he used 432, but apparently it wasn't even 432, it was close to 432. My apologies, I can't read my handwriting. No surprise there, that's why I type everything. So 432 is also known as because it has a pure tone of math fundamental to nature. So, and that's what that's the key thing is that 432 hertz is more soothing, more relaxing sort of thing, and 440 is what's this is meant to make you angry and annoyed or something like that. I don't know. In the article, he did a couple of YouTube videos of the same song, one in 432 hertz, one in 440 hertz first, and then in 432. Definitely a noticeable difference. Probably why he did it. The 432, obviously, like I said, is more more to do with it's a Coldplay song, right? So it was like a melody sort of thing, and so there's that. And then also, it is mathematically, and this is another quote, I can't remember what it was, mathematically consistent with the pattern of the universe, vibrating with phi, the golden ratio, right? To do with Pythagoras as well, like apparently the Pythagoras tuning, or the so they in this instance is adherence to the theory that that 432 hertz should be the tuning and not 440. So they crazy, yeah. Essentially, how this pitch can be connected to everything, from Nautilus shells to the works of the ancients, including the construction of the Great Pyramid. Right? You're saying, why? You know what? You should just do it in written form, right? You probably don't understand what I'm saying. But anyways, I'm just trying something different. But this okay. What I'm about to say is probably well, there's more, and I'm going to go back to their article, and maybe I'll do the more afterwards. But so the more radical ... think that the true frequency should be 528 hertz, and then he puts this in quotes, and afterwards he says that I don't even know what that means. So he was just throwing this in for fun, sort of thing. But I think you're gonna love, and I like it as well, because 528 is a digital bioholographic precipitation, crystallization, and miraculous manifestation of diving frequency vibrations. Okay, I will repeat that. A digital bioholographic precipitating, I think, because I put ... I think it's precipitating, crystallization, and I'll put this and I'll send it to you, or I can send you a link to the article if you want. Crystallization and miraculous manifestation of diving frequency vibrations. Diving. I'm thinking diving. I'm thinking of, and going back to the tuning fork, but I'm thinking of the dowsing rods, right? Diving, right? Maybe, I don't know. So that's all I've got, right? And that's just from the first little bit of the article. I think the article said it was like a 5-minute read or something like that. So, so my thoughts, as I was reading this and thinking, is that okay? Like the greater good, or right? Because remember AJ from White House actually mentioned that in the last episode. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So everything is done either for the greater good, or for our own good, or for our protection, or we're not quite ready for this yet, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so I'm thinking 440 hertz is all. Sorry, I think it's all, and there's the shooting range. So haven't heard any rifle shots yet. The white trailer, but then. So yeah, getting back to my point is it's meant to be. How am I trying to say? It's all part of not really the plan, but I think it's all part of the evolution, the evolving of throwing off, almost like throwing us off our groove, sort of thing. Right? It's always going to be debate, always going to be controversy, I think, sort of thing. But sort of like how there's, like, we're being pushed, and we've been pushed for a long time. Maybe since consciousness, and I'll answer that part as well. You said before consciousness, what? I mean, before consciousness, I think, like all, like all animals and stuff like that, like we just went on instinct. Right? We just worked with what we have. We weren't creative. We didn't invent. We didn't make things, right? And I think that's all part of consciousness is and the soul. I know, like you said, it's soul or spirit. It's sort of either the one and the same or different. Remember what I said? Like when you die, they measured your weight just before and just at the moment of death, and there is like a very distinguishable, not large, but there's an amount. So there's an actual weight to the soul, sort of thing. I don't know. So, but and I think you've mentioned this before, and he knows who I'm talking about, regarding that through like conflict, through I guess we need to look at it as being almost like debate or something like that, as opposed to conflict. Sort of like there's no right and wrong, right? Everything just is. Right? But at 432 hertz is to do with nature and is the more natural tuning in. Right. Oh, I know another thing that I read as well that I thought interesting. It's further down. That's why I didn't write it down, but I remembered it. Is that 432 hertz is to do with the heart and like feelings, emotions, and something like that, and 440 hertz is to do with intellectual, like the brain, right? So there's that. That's interesting. You're not machines, you're men. You have the love of humanity, right? It's all sort of like, it all keeps on sort of like coming back together, sort of thing. But so whether or not, so like I said, in 1953, I don't know if I read that, but 1953, it was set internationally that everywhere in the world it would be 440 hertz forever, even though there's a lot of people that, and I guess I've said this before, that like I think back in probably in the 60s or something like that, maybe in the 50s or something like that, there even to this day there are probably people that, comes to an example, that they tune in 432 hertz as opposed to 440. Curious to see how many people tune in into 528s and what hertz and what kind of music that is like. Something looks, yeah, the curiosity in me gets me all the time. So yeah, and again, what is the purpose? What is the meaning of life? I recently saw a video that enlightened me that the meaning is to leave Earth. Like I to like, it gives you the impression that we were never here, so we came here from somewhere else, and so we're trying to get back to where we came from, as a theory. But and maybe some people don't want to get back to where we came from. Maybe they like it here so much, to the fact that they're willing to control us all, willing to keep us subservient, willing to, if need be, destroy the earth and let us all start over again. Who knows? But there are us that have always looked at the skies, fascinated with the moon. I mean, even like ancient cave dwellings and stuff like that, right? Like they're like, we've been looking up at the stars for a very, very long time, looking up at the sky. right? I think like, well, dogs howl at the moon, but I mean, like, I mean, do you ever see like a cat or like a deer or a muskrat? We saw a bighorn sheep run across the highway coming back from Savannah. I actually had a like warning sign: watch out for bighorn sheep. And yeah, it was. I've never seen it. It just ran across the highway. Do you think that the bighorn sheep looks up at the sky? Um, I don't know. Uh, wow, I make long videos when I ramble. But hopefully you find them interesting. If I ramble too much or it's just leave a comment if it's because yeah, I think I'm getting closer maybe to finding my niche. It's music and maybe to do with the tunings or I don't know. But I know I like music that has high BPM, like beats per minute. And yeah, and it's been like that like all my life, even like rave and stuff like that. I can listen to song that is like intense at full volume, pretty much like 10 minutes after I wake up. I'll throw on my headphones, but usually it's about an hour, so I usually try to wake up. But I mean, I could if I want to, sort of thing, or like on my days off. So, but anyways, I'm gonna try to, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that because we're almost at 17 minutes, and I gotta head back down. Keep forgetting that these take time in addition to my walks. So, yeah, stay tuned. It's not at 43. Let me get 55. Let's go with 16:55. Stay tuned.